Welcome to Slaughterhouse Stories. I hope you enjoy the story I have for you tonight.
Halloween Tales Part 2. The Black Diamonds.
One Halloween night in 2005, a 16-year-old girl named May and her friends, Irene, Kate, and Leslie, were out driving to a Halloween party outside of town. So of course they took the freeway, but the car was slowing down, like it was running out of gas, but the meter said it was full. May and Leslie went up to check the engine. When they opened the hood, there was a hand. A lone, bare hand. They were so frightened they couldn't scream. Leslie reached out to touch it. It moved. This time they both screamed, and Irene and Kate ran out of the car screaming. They said there was a man, with his flesh torn, and a missing hand in the back seat. The girls ran and the car was chasing them, slowly. May called her parents, and Irene called 911 on their phones as they ran. But when the cops and May's parents came, all four girls were soaking in blood. Not their own blood. The cops found a black gemstone, unidentified, in the driver's seat, covered with blood. The girls went ahead to the party. The address was just a vacant lot, but in that vacant lot were many bloody, black, unidentified gemstones.
The Man in the Mask.
On Halloween in 2006, my family and I went into the city because my mom had bought a car, and she needed to make a car payment to the dealer. We decided to take my little sister and her friend trick-or-treating out there. My mom made her payment, and my sister and her friend were trick-or-treating. It was getting late, so we decided that was enough. We had a long drive back home. We ate some burgers at a fast food joint and began the long drive home. When we were on the freeway, a car was driving next to us, and the driver was wearing a mask, staring right at us. Everybody started to get scared. He was keeping up with us and had his head turned sideways, staring for about 10 minutes. Then he just turned and looked ahead and drove past us. A year later, in 2007, I was driving home one night. Again, it was Halloween. I was with my little brother, whom I took trick-or-treating. We stopped to get something to eat, and we were on a freeway with lots of other cars. One happened to pull up beside us while we were going 60 miles an hour. There was a guy in a ski mask. He just stared at us for 10 minutes without even turning his head. And we were going fast too. Finally, he turned his head and sped past us to the next victim.
Mass murder.
On Halloween night in 2008, there was a mass murder. The police were called, and 2 homicide detectives went to investigate the horrible crime. Trying not to tread on the bodies, the police took pictures of each one. One policeman saw something on the opposite wall, but he couldn't read it. He walked over to it and saw what looked like the numbers 7734 written in blood. When taking pictures of this, he turned his digital camera upside down and showed it to his partner. When he pointed with the hand that the camera was in, he accidentally took a picture of the upside-down numbers. The policeman was about to delete the picture when he realized something. The numbers were now a word. The word was hell.
Trick gone wrong.
On Halloween in 2009, 2 boys wanted to play a prank on the people in their neighborhood. There was a small road that ran right next to the cemetery. They decided to climb 2 trees that stood opposite each other. Then they both held either end of a fishing line and stretched it across the path. When someone came walking down that path, the boys pulled the fishing line tight, and it would knock the hat off anyone who was passing by. Their first victim came down the path, and they pulled the fishing line. The man's hat was knocked off, and he ran away, terrified. Pleased that their prank had worked, they decided to do it again. They saw a tall, black shadow approaching and lay in wait. The kids got ready, and when the shadow passed, they pulled on the fishing line with all their might. Then they heard a ripping noise and saw a severed head rolling around the ground. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed tonight's story, please like, share, and subscribe. And until next time,
Stay spooky.